Hello. Even more DapperFella here once again. And welcome back to another episode of Five Nights at Freddy's World. This is episode 5. So if you haven't seen the last episode, go check that one out so you are caught up to speed. But without further ado, sit back, relax, get yourself a nice glass of milk and enjoy. For this episode, I have finally decided to change up the teams. In Team 1, our new team members consist of Golden and Nightmare Freddy, as well as Plush Trap. And for Team 2, Nightmare Foxy has joined their ranks, as well as OG Bonnie and Phantom Mangle. Last episode, we made it to the Pinwheel Circus, where the first boss fight of the episode will take place. Nice. We have our first new challenger, Endo01, a support character that has the moves Endo Army, Power Song, and Armor Song. Endo Army summons 3 Endo skeletons that shoot lasers at our opponents. Power Song raises the attack of our enemies for a long period of time. And Armor Song does the same except it raises defense. So, a really good Team 1 candidate. I would just like to point out how funny some of these enemies look. I'm literally fighting dumb little fighter planes with googly eyes. This is gold. Scott Cawthon, please make an update 3. Or some form of sequel. Because that is probably how world peace will be achieved. Also, let old Uncle Dapper tell you a little technique that you can do. It involves a gravestone here in the Black Tomb Yard. And if you walk into it, it will basically put you in an entirely different dimension. But the enemies in this dimension strike you with the power of Zeus, Poseidon and Hades combined into some mutant love child strength. In layman's terms, they will probably kill us 100 times out of 100. And there we go. We are now in the good grief. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that, otherwise I might catch a terminal illness and meet the same fate as Arthur Morgan in Red Dead Redemption 2. So I am just going to call it the glitched world. This is where we are going to find one of the best chips in the game. We just need to go to where the mysterious mine would be. Because it has a red chest that contains a prized artifact that will help us. Jesus Christ on a Christmas stick. What was that attack? Fourth wall? That attack almost killed the entirety of Team 1 like paper being put in some kind of a shredder. We hopefully won't have to deal with that attack again. And there we go. We have the auto mimic chip. What this chip does is, it places this cute little guy onto the field. Our good old friend the mimic ball. And what he does is, well, he copies any of our attacks, no matter if it is a debuff, a heal, or a regular damage dealer. Any attack we use, he will copy it like a parrot. He even mimics instant kills, I unscrew and escape key. Basically doubling the amount of efficiency we are capable of. Also, remember that auto shield explanation?
Auto shield does what it says on the tin. Sets up a shield that protects you from damage, as well as from an attack that will show up very later on in the series.
Well, that attack that will show on very later on in the series has just showed up. That attack is called Alarm. And what Alarm does is that it will instantly kill any animatronic we have. And this shield is the only way of dealing with it. And now we are back in the Pinwheel Circus, where we should now be prepared to fight the boss, due to our character leveling and our auto mimic. Also, if you don't mind, comment down below on what you thought of this episode, and what you think of the series as a whole. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on my videos, so that I can improve in the future, and in the here and now. And here is Fredbear, sitting back and watching us do all the work like always. What a lazy guy. Get a job, Fredbear. There should be a Fazburger you can apply to. Or something. I don't know. Browboy, our first boss of the episode, and well, he is something. I mean, sure, he has the highest amount of health out of the bosses so far, but he is just so pitifully easy, especially with our current team. So he's just a bit of a tanky one-off scare. Nothing too notable. And there we go. Browboy was as easy as ever. Now we have access to the best place for grinding in the entire game. We also have this auto regen ship, which should be obvious to people whose brains are up to snuff. But for those who aren't, auto regen simply heals our animatronics passively, similar to the medpods and the pearl. Here we are. The Pinwheel Funhouse. The best place for all kinds of grinding. Character grinding. Faz token grinding. XP grinding. The lot. Nice. Another new character to add to the roster. Endo02. This guy is the supposed upgrade to his FNaF 1 counterpart. With the move Speed Song, Endo Army, and Neon Wall. Speed Song we covered in the first episode. Endo Army we covered this episode. And Neon Wall is essentially an auto shield on a timer, creating the same barrier. So a really good character and another good Team 1 candidate. We have another new character, Nightmare Chica, a strong attacking character that has the moves Bite 2, Bad Pizza, and Water Hose. All moves we have covered before. She isn't much of a Team 1 candidate outside of Bad Pizza being a good attack, so she is more suited for a Team 2 position. Aha. The gravestone behind the wall will let me get to the next area. There we go. And it seems like the next boss is in a pencil's length of us. Now before I challenge this guy, I am going to equip the block jump scare chip, because this boss uses the move jump scare quite a lot. Oh, for crying out loud. Why did you red bears have to ruin this for me? I was about to fight the boss. You absolute bully. Right then. Bubba. You Clockwork doofus. I am going to make sure you never see the light of day again. Well, this guy has a lot of health. How much you ask? Well, let me tell you. Bubba has 30,000 health. Yes, you heard that right. He has 30,000. That is about 3 Brow Boys in one. Here we go. He is almost dead. Just a few more strong attacks. And there we go. Bubba is now defeated. And we can continue down this path to greater heights. Nice one. We made it out of the funhouse. But this won't be the last time we are here. Characters are going to have to be obtained in the funhouse. Which is where I will be next episode. Just a heads up. Also, a lot of footage had to be cut from the video, due to it just being me trying to figure out how to get to the next boss. So to spare you the boredom, I will just do the SpongeBob time skip thing again.
2,000 years later.
Hello again. I finally made it. This boss here is guarding a key. We need this key to access 3 bosses guarding buttons that deactivate barriers to the penultimate boss. And after that boss is killed, we will have to fight the final boss of FNaF World. Alright. Porkpatch, you useless piece of rotting bacon fat. Bring it on, you literal swine. Yikes. He just one-shot Golden Freddy. He was our best way of lowering Porkpatch's defense. Let's see if we can wrap up this fight quickly before he does it for us. And now he one-shot Phantom Mangle. This pork belly is not playing around. Let's roast this pork chop fast. Jeez, that was far too close. But we won. Only a few casualties. We got the key. And I'd say that this is a good time to wrap up the video. So do me a favor. Like this video. Subscribe if you want to see more. And have a good one for me, pal.